So yeah, how about a quick transition into the 12 tasty substitutions when cutting carbs?
Yeah, I thought we'd go over this article because we haven't really talked about anything like this. I mean, we talk a lot about cutting carbs and eating a low carb diet, but it's tough because a lot of people are used to just the standards, like a sandwich for lunch, spaghetti for dinner, pizza, pancakes for breakfast. And it's hard to come up with all these replacements to all that if that's what you're used to eating. So I thought this article I think it's helpful, but it's also some of the items that they came up with were pretty much just entertainment value.
Hmm. This is on menshealth.com.
Menshealth.com, right?
So if we just pick a couple that we each prefer, I like lasagna, for example, and their substitute for lasagna, instead of the pasta, they're saying to use zucchini. Slice 4 or 5 medium-sized zooks lengthwise into 3/4 inch thick strips, and sprinkle Italian seasoning on the strips. Place them in a single layer on a non-stick cookie sheet. Bake them. You want them firm but not crisp. Then simply make the lasagna as you normally would, replacing lasagna noodles with the baked zucchini. Delicious! Zucchini provides texture that you don't get from noodles alone. Well, I think I could handle the zucchini in something like that.
Yeah, I actually really like zucchini. This sounds really tasty.
Doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, if I had an in-house chef, I would have that done. But I used to be a big fan of pancakes when I was in my high carb eating days.
With the orange juice, right?
Oh yeah, syrup, yeah, the whole thing. Sometimes I'd put like powdered sugar on them and syrup.
A diabetic's nightmare.
Yeah, yeah, it was pretty insane. But I actually had these when I was like in college. I had these oatmeal chocolate chip pancakes that I would eat, and then I'd put syrup on top of those. It was like basically having oatmeal chocolate chip cookies with syrup on top of them for breakfast.
Excellent. That should get you going as far as blood sugar levels.
Yeah, it was terrible. But these pancakes that they recommend, the substitute are oatmeal and cottage cheese for pancake mix. It says here.
Cottage cheese for
Oh,
pancakes?
I love cottage cheese. Here's a can't fail recipe from the South Beach diet. Mix together a half cup of old-fashioned oatmeal, a quarter cup of low-fat cottage cheese, 2 eggs, and a dash each of vanilla extract, cinnamon, and nutmeg. Process in a blender until smooth. Cook the mixture like a regular pancake. And it says the carbs eliminated is 45 grams per pancake.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so I would definitely do this. I actually do make a pancake substitute. They're called flax cakes.
Uh-huh.
And you basically take 3 tablespoons of flaxseed and 2 tablespoons of water, and you mix in an egg and banana, like a half a banana, and you just mix it all together and then cook that up, and it turns into a pancake. And they taste really good, and they're low carb.
Master chef at work. So do you put syrup on there? Because here they say with syrup you could never tell the difference.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to throw in some extra carbs, but no, I do eat them plain. They're actually pretty good. The
I'd
flaxseed.
recommend, I usually use a dab of pure maple syrup, which, a little bit goes a long way there for the flavor. And
Yeah,
it's really tasty.
yeah.
Otherwise, you can get the sugarless syrups, the ones that have hardly any carbs in them,
Oh, yeah.
which is good. But in any event, I mean, this is kind of like a once in a while thing to eat pancakes, because your body would much prefer eating the seasonal berries and other sorts of fruits and substances that don't involve the grains.
Yeah.
But speaking of that, there's pizza. That was my other choice here. You cut the gills out of the inside of a mushroom. So this is a portobello mushroom instead of a crust. Then you place the mushroom on an oiled cookie sheet and bake it so it dries out slightly, and then add tomato sauce, mozzarella, pepperoni, and other toppings, and broil until the cheese begins to melt. And it says, like pizza but moister. Give me a fork. So that might be pretty tasty. Portobello mushrooms are pretty good, but I'm not sure if it'll substitute for the crust.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not really working for me. But if you're desperate, I guess that could fill the gap.
What I've done for pizza when I eat pizza once in a while is eat the New York style, which is real thin crust.
Yeah, and you could thin crust, and you could take out the thick part of the crust at the end, the end crust.
Yeah, you don't eat this thick stuff at the end, and you're pretty favorable there as far as the carb to protein ratio.
Yeah.
And certainly enough fats with the cheese. So
Yeah.
every once in a while it's good to eat that stuff, but as a way of life, not so much.
Yeah, exactly. My second one was spaghetti.
Oh, I thought you were going to go for the beefaroni.
Yeah. I actually used to eat beefaroni, the Chef Boyardee, when I was a kid.
Uh-huh.
And it was pretty much a regular thing. But yeah, I didn't want to be seen in a swimsuit back then, but not anymore.
Let alone a bikini.
True. So yeah, spaghetti was a staple for me for I don't know, 20 years or so. And then when I started going low carb, that was a tough one to give up because I ate spaghetti and ravioli like probably 3 or 4 nights a week at
Mm-hmm.
least. But I switched the noodles from regular spaghetti noodles to brown rice, and I felt a whole lot better when I ate the brown rice noodles. And I also cut down on the amount of noodles that I was eating and, just added more protein and fat to it. And it just seemed like so much better of a meal rather than the old way of doing it, which was I used to just take a bunch of noodles, cook them up in water, and then dump them on a plate and dump a bunch of spaghetti sauce on them. And that was my whole meal.
Yeah, ragu or prego.
Oh, yeah, ragu. Yeah, for sure.
That's Italian. Yeah, I remember when that first article came out way back, I think in the 90s, about how pasta makes you fat.
Yeah,
And I just dismissed it out of hand because I'm like, that's impossible.
right.
Carbs are a source of energy. How could they possibly make you fat?
Yeah, it's nonsense.
But it turns out that's the carbohydrate insulin factor that they're talking about.
Yeah, and this one, the substitute for spaghetti, it's spaghetti squash for spaghetti. So a cooked spaghetti squash is like Mother Nature's automatic spaghetti maker. The flesh, the flesh becomes noodle-like strands. All you have to do is cut the squash in half and remove the seeds. Then place each half, cut side down, on a plate with a quarter cup of water. And then nuke the squash for 10 minutes or until it's soft to the touch. Let it cool, then scrape out the spaghetti strands and top with pasta sauce and cheese. And I would add some kind of meat too, because I'm a meat kind of guy. But carbs eliminated are 30 grams per cup. It sounds good. I've never tried this one before, but that sounds like a good one.
Yeah, interesting. Squash flesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure if you put some nice pasta sauce on there, some marinara,
Yeah.
mighty tasty. Some green olives, perhaps, for garnish,
Oh, yeah.
and Parmesan cheese. I'm getting hungry over here.
No, I'm getting hungry.
We better wrap this up then.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Well, if you want to know more about Healthy Mind Fit Body, just go to our website, healthymindfitbody.com, and we have a link in the show notes as well as on the website to the iTunes page, and you can rate and review the show. That'd be much appreciated.
Yeah, and just a little preview. Next week, we're going to have Tom Naughton on the show, and he's not only a film producer for Fathead the movie, but also a comedian. So it's going to be fun times for sure.
Indeed, yes.
And we're going to have some edutainment.
Yeah, get a good ab workout, I'm sure.
Yes.
Tom will give us a run for our money in terms of the humor,
Yeah.
but also educational too. We just watched that film and recommend it. So
Yeah.
you can also go to our site to download the free bonus audio that we have about the 3 pillars of achieving your perfect weight. Just sign in there with your name and email address, and then you get the download and get started on this program if you're interested in a healthy mind, fit body.
Yeah. And check out our blog, and we'll be talking with you next week. So have a good week, everybody.
Take care, everyone.
It's